Hey, welcome back everybody. About to get into hive number 3, which has a honey super on it, so kind of similar to hive number 1's inspection for this week. I'm just going to do a quick assessment to see how the bees are making progress with the honey super and make a determination if that super is ready to be pulled this week, or like I said last week, they may need an additional week. So we'll just kind of play that by ear. Over here in the shade, which is a bit unusual, I'm usually behind the hive as I'm doing the intros, but it's July 18th, shortly after 11 o'clock if I had to guess at this point. Temperature, yeah, it's quarter after 11 actually. Temperature's probably approaching the high 80s, the heat index is probably close to 100, and the humidity's most likely north of 90% if it's anything like how it's been for the last few days. It's just been pretty hot, unbearably hot, and then to spend a few hours out here inspecting the colonies, when I get done I'm soaking wet. So, but that's not what this is about. This is about hive number 3. So yeah, the honey super's on. I'll take a look at that and then move down into the brood chamber, which is a 10 frame deep. See how the queen's doing. I'm not sure if I found her last week. One of the hives, it was 2 or 3. I was not able to find the queen last week, and they're all marked, so that was a little bit unusual. So I'm going to keep a keen eye out this week for her. Hopefully I can find her, and if I find any queen cells, which I did in hive number 1, check out that video, ended up making a split from that. Although they have the honey super still on, I don't necessarily want to make a split, but if I have to, I will. And here's why. Mainly because the honey super might be ready to come off today or within a week. And I don't want to make a split with supers on, but again, because the super is pretty much is almost ready to be pulled, I feel comfortable with doing so. I don't want to take away from the population, the bee population for the colony, but they have enough foraging bees out to where they should be okay for at least another week. Alright, so that's it for hive number 3, what I plan on doing. Let's get into the hive and actually see, let me get the camera situated, and actually see what's going on this week. Good Lord, man. Smoker's smoking me out. Yeah, it's been pretty hot lately. Like I said, that's a good thing. That's probably the most bees I've ever really noticed in the honey super. Yeah, so a combination of it being extremely hot should help cure the honey, and a combination of not getting as much rain as we did in May and June. May and June we had like 70 inches of rain, no exaggeration. And so far this month we've had probably 13, but 9 inches of that came in one day. So it's the 18th, significantly less rain than last month. Yeah, this is looking better than last week. Yeah, that's looking nice. So I think I'm gonna give them another week. Yeah, that's not looking half bad, but then you got frames like that, so yeah, one more week should do this hive good. Yeah, if you don't have one of these things and you're running a 9 frame, I would highly recommend it. About $10 on Amazon. It ensures your frames are evenly spaced so the bees don't do any weird stuff. They got this thing sealed down. But yeah, they should be good next week to pull honey, especially if this weather keeps up. Good habit, just check the bottom side of your queen excluder for the queen. The last thing you want to do is put her on top, or if she's on the queen excluder and you do what I do and set it on top your honey super, so the last thing you want to find is the queen in your super the following week or whatever your inspection cycle is. All Alright, outside frame, very typical. Not much going on. I got my queen clip ready. I found number 2's queen, which I'm not sure if it was number 2 or number 3 that I didn't find last week, so if I find number 3's queen, all is well in the world. Yeah, outside frames, they're usually the last to be really worked heavily, so not really much going on. They were just storing some nectar on that one. What is this, frame 3? Frame 3. Got some brood on that side. Food stores on the side that faces the outside of the hive. Frame 4, it's got some nice brood on the other side. I'll show you that in a second. That frame, or that side's that's a nice solid brood pattern. Queen cup on the bottom, but it looks dry, meaning there's not an egg or a pupated larva in there. Something just to keep an eye on. Frame 5. Pupated larva throughout that frame. Well, on that side at least. I imagine there's eggs as well. Queen cup at the top. Queen cup at the bottom, but they also appear dry. Let me grab my flashlight, just because this frame is rather open, not a lot of capped brood, and I can't see any pupated larvae. But just out of curiosity, I want to see if I can find some eggs. And yeah, there's eggs throughout that section right there. So they are displaying the signs that they are queen right. However, nothing is more satisfying than actually finding the queen. Ton of eggs on this side too. So she's making good use of the space provided. This frame has some weight to it. This is frame 7. Some more queen cups. One of them looks like it has an egg in it, so, but that one right there, I don't know if it comes up on camera or not. It looks like it has an egg. However, it's pretty early in development, so just something to keep an eye on, really. You don't have to tear them down at that stage, especially if you're trying to make some splits, you know. Let the bees do the preparations for you, and then during an inspection, same queen cup, if they end up putting an egg in it, you know, easy day. Just move that frame and a few others into a new box and just give them some time, typically about a month, and before you know it, you'll have another colony. It's honestly that simple. All right, frame 8, not much going on. Frame 9, that has some weight to it as well. Did I mention it's hot? Because it is. Alright, last frame. Haven't found the queen yet, so what do you think? Think she's going to be on here? I don't see her on this side. And I don't see her on this side. Alright, so the same thing happened with hive number 1 today. I got through all 10 frames Didn't find the queen at all, and I know she's marked. So, as much as I don't really want to, because I'd like to get out of the heat, I'm going to move back through the frames just to see if I can find the queen. Because sometimes they are fast, and sometimes they do not want to be found. But with a big blue dot on her thorax, should be able to find her pretty easy. In hive number 1, when I was going back through that hive, I almost overlooked her because of this reason right here, and just something to kind of pay attention to. She was tucking herself between the drawn comb, the new foundation, and the bottom bar, and I almost overlooked her because there was quite a few bees crawling around her and kind of over her as well. So just kind of something to pay attention to, I guess. With my luck, she'll be on the very first frame at this point, basically just moving in the opposite direction that I'm moving. So I'll have to go through all the frames again to find her. It's interesting, once I started marking the queens this year and the follow-on weekly inspections, I mean, they were so easy to find. And now, over the last 2 weeks, I've gone through a few hives and it's actually been difficult to find them for some reason. Taking my time on this one just because there's so many bees on this side. And like I said, the bees in hive number 1 were covering her up and I almost overlooked her. There she is. Right there. Oh. Let me put them back. Actually, let's take another look at her. There she is, hive number 3's queen. So, if you know you have marked queens and you go through your hive frame by frame and don't find them, I guess it pays to go back through them because you may have just simply overlooked them, really. Actually, let's slide that over. Alright, so yeah, even though I found frames of eggs and everything, I really just wanted to make sure they had the queen because I couldn't remember if it was this hive or another that I didn't find the queen last week. So they look good. Honey Super needs another week. Actually, that would have been a mistake. Let's put this back first. Now let's put the super on. And given the amount of commotion in the sky or in the air, I imagine the front entrance is pretty chaotic, so let's take a look. Yep, and as I like to say, that's usually what the front of the hive looks like after I get done inspecting. Not that there's anything wrong with that, it just gets a little chaotic. Alright, that does it for hive number 3. Again, Honey Super is going to be on for another week. It should be ready next week. The colony itself, the brood chamber, looks just fine. Plenty of food, brood, eggs, found the queen, so 100% know their queen right. And that's it. Just check back next week for a routine inspection. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to the channel, and if you hit the bell, you'll receive notifications of future videos. And we are also on Instagram and Facebook. If you have those social media platforms and want to check us out, you can find us by searching Cole's Farm NC for North Carolina, or if you're on our YouTube channel, the icons in the top right of the banner will navigate you to those pages. Alright, thanks for watching, everybody. Cole's Farm, Jacksonville, North Carolina.